it is what it is. So now I thought about broaching this previously, didn't, because I didn't think it was that, quite frankly, important enough, or this person I didn't think was important enough. But I heard about this individual named Lil Tay. Didn't never heard of this, never heard of her. I don't even know who she is. Well, I didn't previously know who she was. But apparently she's some viral bad baby type, cash me outside type person on the internet, who is allegedly also some sort of an entertainer slash music artist.
Yeah.
That's what is written about her in articles, although I've never seen or heard anything from her in that regard. And she went viral about maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago, because the day she turned 18, she started her OnlyFans. Literally the day she turned 18, she started OnlyFans. And what made waves was the fact that she made what, $1 million or something in like the first 24 hours or something stupid like that on her
Hmm.
OnlyFans,
Hmm.
which was indicative of the fact that people were waiting for this girl to turn 18 and start an OnlyFans to start, uh, funding her lifestyle for nothing, basically. And so now, she's unmuting you know, um, to clap back at all of her detractors and the people who are criticizing the move. She's saying the typical things that everyone in her position would say, which is, you can't judge me. No one can judge me. I do whatever I want. And, I'm getting money and all of this other stuff. The typical things that people in her position say.
Of course.
And so now she's talking about how her family has disowned her because of the fact that she started this OnlyFans, and she's kind of spilling this gospel of she's talking directly to women, saying that if you work a 9 to 5, you're a failure. And that education and working isn't something that you should be pursuing. Like, she's saying, if you're 25 or older, I think we'll play the video, and you're working, then you failed, and you should have been dropped the link. Essentially saying, follow in my footsteps, because I've made $1 million doing this. So this says, Lil Tay disowned by family for launching OnlyFans, as she calls women working 9 to 5s failures. Lil Tay said her family has disowned her for launching an OnlyFans account and called 9 to 5 workers failures. Former child influencer turned OnlyFans millionaire Lil Tay is apparently on her own after launching her adult career moments after turning 18 last month. On Saturday, Tay took TikTok, where she told her followers that she is no longer on speaking terms with her family over her OnlyFans account. The news is in stark contrast to her father, Chris Hope, previous comments when he was asked about Lil Tay turning to OnlyFans to make money. Tay can make her own decisions. Some people won't approve no matter what she does. Despite saying publicly that he trusted Tay to handle her life and her content as she sees fit, things must have changed because now she is estranged from her family. Tay also told young women to ditch the office life and college dreams and drop the link instead, just like she did. Tay, who launched her OnlyFans account literally 1 minute after turning 18 on July 29, 2025, is now flexing her earnings and dragging anyone who's still clocking in for a paycheck. According to her, if you're under 25 and still working a regular job, you're doing life wrong. She also told her followers, ladies, every single one of you should drop the link like me. Just literally just make your bag. Who gives a who gives a F what anyone thinks? Tay claims she pulled in over $1 million in under 3 hours after going live on the site, breaking records and flipping off the idea of traditional careers. And she's not shy about where she stands on education either. She's been planning this for 10 years. Tay said she mapped out her OnlyFans debut when she was just 9 and made sure all her content was filmed after she officially became legal. Tay, Tay, Tay has said she sees herself as a new age role model, name dropping Sydney Sweeney and Sabrina Carpenter as her sex positive icons while claiming she's bringing women forward. So she is saying all the right things. She is saying all the right things. Now, I'm also going to play a video version of all of this so that you can see this young girl. She's not a woman. Speak up on behalf of herself. So here is the TikTok that she put out. You know, talking this stuff.
If you're over the age of 25 and you're still working a 9 to 5, you are a failure. Like, by then, you should have already made your bag. And ladies, every single one of you should drop the link like me. Like, just literally just make your bag. Who gives a what anybody thinks? Screw your family. My family kicked me out. I got disowned. They don't talk to me anymore. They don't talk to me. But who gives a shit? I can literally buy their whole life if I wanted to. I'm good. Also, fuck education, because Harvard was never gonna help me make 8 figures. That's why I dropped out of it and I dropped the link instead.
Is hot sleep keeping you
Yeah.
The mattress firm, our sleep experts.
Unbelievable.
All right. Floor is yours. What do you think about her telling women under 25 they're failures if they work a 9 to 5 and they should drop the link instead?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, of course, this is Lil Tay, man. You haven't heard of Lil Tay before this. I have. Um, Back on my IG days when I was real big on IG. Um, this phenomenon crossed my desk with her doing just this, flexing. Uh, it was a whole it was a whole meme situation she was doing with her older brother right after the Takashi 6ix9ine stuff. She was mimicking his internet behaviors, flexing with prop money and throwing money in the air, throwing money at the camera, saying you can't mess with me. Check out my Bugatti. Check out this. I mean, it was the most ridiculous stuff ever. So at the time, people were really pointing to her being exploited by her older brother and her family for internet clout and money. So at some point, she became I guess by default, some type of influencer. I'm sure. So she's been in the internet realm for some years now, but of course she was underage, and that which also added to the ridiculousness of the stuff that she was saying. So the stuff that she just said right now in this thing, uh, that's on brand for how she talks. She's been talking like that since 9. So yeah, so her joining OnlyFans at 18, when I saw that headline, I wasn't shocked. Um, when I saw the amount that she made, again, I'm not shocked because at some point you just have to just realize, for the most part, if there's some type of internet clout on your name and you do what she just said and drop the link, you're going to be making a substantial amount of money. Guys are going to be paying to see that. See what? I don't know, man. This is the age of the incel rate is out of control. I'll say that. So that's a little background that I do know of her. So all of this stuff is on brand. Um, I thought she was an out of control, dangerous individual when she was younger, doing those Takashi 6ix9ine type videos, and it seems as though she's just taking it to the next level, and she's doing it at the next level. Again, dangerous for people that are entertained by her, because I'm sure if you do go to her IG or TikToks or whatever, it's not all just basement dwelling weirdos. There's probably some young ladies tossed up in the mix as well, and now they're going to feel like they're going to have to start dropping a link, and it's a wild thing. She's a dangerous rhetoric machine.
Oh, if she ever was one.
Yeah, so the last thing I'll say is that this is just chickens coming home to roost for her family that disowned her. If they feel disrespected, they're feeling as though X, Y, and Z is going on. How could you do this? They would just have to look at themselves, because, as I mentioned, her older brother, her mom, were very much involved in this, to the point where the internet was calling them out for exploiting her. So at this point, when she wants to exploit herself and I guess get her own bag, of course they're going to disown her for it. So this is a messy ass pot, of course, and I am not surprised because of the individuals involved. But what are your thoughts, man, on this Lil Tay dropping the OnlyFans, making millions, and then telling hardworking women that they're failures? What are your thoughts, bro?
The only reason why I wanted to bring this up as a topic is because there's been a pretty consistent theme, definitely coming from me on this channel, of my belief of a purposeful effort to aggressively mainstream sex working. And I think this is evidence of that.
Yeah.
Now, on the one hand, you can say, why are y'all giving her attention? She's an 18-year-old child. You shouldn't be giving her oxygen in terms of providing, in terms of using her as a topic because she shouldn't be that important. And I agree with that. She is a child, and the whims of children shouldn't really be taken into account when we're talking about real life stuff, because she's going to get older and she's going to mature, and at some point she's going to realize how foolish she was talking. It's going to happen eventually. She might still be stuck in her own psychosis, but she'll reach a point where something's going to happen to her, and she'll want to have a change of heart or whatever. It happened to the other one. It happened to the bad baby chick, where now she wants to do things differently because of an abusive relationship or some other traumatic event took place as a result largely of her behavior and her decisions. So, she's a child, and eventually she'll get older and look back on this and probably be embarrassed by her behavior, I would imagine. So I hear the sentiment that because she's a child, we shouldn't be paying that much attention to it. However, I also do believe that this is the kind of rhetoric that people straddling the fence on embracing some of these new forms of thinking can become exposed to enough to where they will just hop the fence and start to really embrace those new forms of thinking. So, I would imagine that somewhere there probably is some young woman who is under the age of 25 and is questioning whether college is right for her, and is questioning whether going the traditional route of working a job is for her, because who wants to work a job, right? Like who wants to work 40 hours a week and earn a living that isn't commensurate with the cost of living? Everybody wants to live abundantly. So logically, if there's a means that allows me to do that, and all I have to do is exist as a woman, even though it seems creepy and sketch and it feels like I'm compromising some of my morals, I might consider it, especially if I continue to live in a world where it's becoming more and more normalized that that's a typical decision to make. So whether she's 18 or 40, all someone who is on the fence about making such a decision needs is to be exposed to the rhetoric enough to become more comfortable with making the choice. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel like even if she's an 18-year-old child, which she is, this is nevertheless dangerous rhetoric,
Very good.
because it's dangerous rhetoric, because I do believe we're you know uh, I do believe we're in a very morally corrupt and ethically deregulated state in human society, where in a moment's notice, a person is very much willing to forfeit all of these things that they used to believe in pursuit of the quote unquote bag. So if a girl thinks that all she has to do is drop the link in order to pursue that bag, then to be damned with everything else, she's gonna drop the link and pursue the bag. And listen, I'm not the hugest proponent of college myself, and I have my misgivings with the labor force and the modern day workforce. I do think that it is largely a modern day slave machination. I've said that on this channel many times before. However, I do believe that within the constraints of that, there are ways to be able to at least financially free yourself, so long as you approach it with the right level of research and strategy. Don't just approach it whimsically, like It's no big deal. Don't go to college without a plan, because if you go to college without a plan, you're going to come out of college with no plan, and then you're in trouble. Don't approach working without a plan or without a strategy, because if you go into the workforce without a plan or a strategy, you're going to get stuck running on the hamster wheel into perpetuity with no plan, no strategy. So long as you approach things with intent, there are ways to have it constructively work to your benefit.
Mhm.
But this notion of just throw everything by the wayside and lets everybody become sex workers because that's how you get to the bag, I'm very uncomfortable with that. But this reinforces my belief in what I've been saying this entire time, which is I do believe that there is an effort to aggressively mainstream alternative forms of earning money, such as sex working. This to me is evidence of that. So, for all of y'all people out there, especially a lot of y'all women who are on the fence because you have been considering dropping the link, but you've been somewhat straddling it because you still kind of are holding on to that small semblance of your moral character, your moral compass, which says, I might not be very comfortable with doing it. You've just been given more illicit permission that making that choice isn't a big deal
Mhm.
via this girl who did it. And there's women who, I don't care what the age spectrum is. You can be 30, you can be 30 on that timeline of considering such things. And if you're enough on that timeline that you've been considering it for long enough and hard enough, a message from an 18-year-old can be just as effective as a message from somebody your own age, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why her age to me is inconsequential to this conversation, in my opinion. But you know, that's my take on it. We'll see how things are going, but this to me is more evidence of that aggressive normalization.
Yeah, she's been like when she first got on the scene with this foolishness. Um, because the Takashi 69 situation was weird to me. It was weird from the context of who the hell is he? What is this? 1000% an industry plant sent for the destruction of the younger generation of people. Um, making hits on the phone, not music. I mean, literal, trying to unalive people on the phone, on live, doing all kinds of stuff, saying, test my gangster, all this other stuff. Like his little wave where he was just riling up the internet, you know, um, I didn't like any of that. I hated all of that, especially at the time. I didn't think it was funny, but he was literally everywhere. You couldn't avoid it. And so when she started doing her little thing, it didn't have as big of a splash. It was more of a what the hell kind of it was a meme of a situation. Um, but clearly, we see the psychosis that developed over the years from her acting like that. And she's hardwired. Uh, she's in this for the long haul. If she does have that situation where she has that breakdown, of clarity, um, I already think this CD is already written. She's hardwired to be a distraction, a social deconstructionist, and a mad person. And so her job and her duty, and she will get paid handsomely to do this.
Yeah.
Her job and her duty is to literally go around her entire internet career and spew dangerous rhetoric. And when she was doing it as an adolescent, it was ha ha kiki kiki. And now that she's hit 18, she's coming with the big guns. And eventually it's going to be nuclear type stuff if people keep buying into this. But I'm telling you right now, the internet's not going to have enough of her if she continues on her trajectory. She will be one of those people that is a household name for her internet shenanigans. So her family disowning her, as you can see, this sociopath doesn't give a damn. She just, they just mad she got M's. So hey man. So we do. And now as adults, of course, we can pick and choose on what we consume. So of course, we're not going to be around here consuming her dangerous rhetoric. We just, scroll to the next video or don't click on that page, which is fine for us. But if, like I said, if she continues, she's going to be in algorithms. So there's people right now that we don't give any attention to, but they on the algorithm.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And you always have to dodge them because who gives a damn about that person? And right now, at the age of 18, she's gonna make her splash, and that 1 million for her is clearly signs of things to come for her. That hey, if I can make 1 million in 3 minutes or whatever the hell it was, yeah, I got a career out here. So yeah, brace yourselves. You don't have to deal with her, but at the same time, just prepare to ignore her. I'll say that.
Yeah, I just think when she says, if you're under 25 and you work at 95, you're a failure, and just drop the link. What she's saying is, do what I did. That's what she's saying. Do what I did.
Yeah.
And what did she do? She went at 18 years old and became a sex worker, or at the very least, a sex worker adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
So, deductive reasoning, she is saying, hey, don't become a 9 to 5er or any of that weird stuff. Don't do education. Forget Harvard. Do what I did. Do what I did. Do what I did, and become a sex worker. And I feel like that's a part of this subtle psychological manipulative tactic that's taking place, where we are trying to rear an entire generation of humans, as well as the current generation of humans, onto these weird alternative forms of thinking in which everything is completely deregulated and decentralized. And any notion or semblance of a moral compass is tantamount to being a failure. Because what's going to stop someone, like, what stops someone, if we're being honest, from quitting the 9 to 5 grind to do OnlyFans? It's got to, at the very least, a part of that equation is having some sort of a moral compass. So when you say electing to not do that means you're a failure in life, you're kind of saying that having a moral compass equates to being a failure.
100%.
So I don't. So that kind of messaging to me, whether the messenger is 18 or 60, is incredibly dangerous. So people need to be wary of that. And as the years progress, we are going to have more and more of these sleeper cell agents like her, subtly putting that kind of weird ideology into the atmosphere. And it might seem like not that many people are going to buy into it, but over time, you best believe more and more people will buy into it as it becomes louder and louder. And it becomes so loud that it's not even something that's loud anymore, because it's just a part of the casual conversation. So I don't like it, but whatever. It is what it is. It's here to stay. And as you like to say, this is where we're at.
That's where we're at, man. And as I said, she'll do whatever for a check. She doesn't give a damn. So, and these are the type of people corporations love. She goes viral all the time. These are the type of people corporations love. So you're going to see more of her influencing going on. That's for damn sure. And it's all going to be dangerous because that's her brand. And they love that too. So, buckle up, y'all. Hell no.
Yeah, the ways people get bags these days.
Man.
Yikes.